All right. Well, thank you everyone for attending tonight's participant induction for Build with AI Hack 2021, the worldwide competition where we apply artificial intelligence, decision-making, analytics, and machine learning to problems facing the world and solving great problems. So thank you so much for attending tonight. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Dan from Hackmakers. I'm the Chief Experience Officer. And we want to make sure that you've got enough information to have a really enjoyable hackathon. What we're going to do is we're going to go through over the next hour information about what's involved in the hackathon process, and we'll take you through not just that, but we'll also dive into some Q&A as well. So hopefully we can give you some information on all of the different bits and pieces that are involved with a hackathon. So again, thank you for joining us. It's a real pleasure to be with you through this. It's going to be an exciting time. It's going to be a lot of fun. So again, we're looking forward to a lot of participants for the Build with AI hackathon. And the most important thing that I probably want to highlight here is that you don't have to be a technical person to be involved in a hackathon. It takes all kinds of skills and talents. So if you are a business analyst, for example, or a designer, or somebody with business experience, these skills are directly translatable into the hackathon, because it takes a team to develop a solution to the challenges that we go through. So tonight we're going to go through a couple of things. Just a quick overview of what the hackathon is. We're going to do some brief introductions, and then we'll go through the participant and judges guide. So that's really important about understanding, well, what information and resources you have available to you. And also from a competition, this is still a competition, and there's some fantastic prizes from our fantastic sponsors. But understanding what the judges are looking for when they're going to be looking at the solutions that you're producing. So that's a really handy tip, and one that can really help with sort of narrowing down what you want to do during the hackathon process. So that's a really good one. And we're also going to take you through a little bit of a tour of our Slack, which is available for Build with AI, and taking you through some of the useful tools there. And it's also our collaboration space. It's where you'll be able to work with teams, you'll be able to ask questions of mentors, and of course, ask questions of the organizers as well. So hopefully that information will be useful. And then we'll go into a little bit of Q&A. So thank you to Jack, who's helping me out tonight. He's going to help me with collecting those questions. So let's continue. So the Build with AI hackathon, I've got to watch my tongue-tied. The Build with AI hackathon is being supported by our fantastic sponsors, our lead sponsors, Oracle and OpenWeaver, and our other sponsors, INE, ITIC, Slack. And we're really proud to present Build with AI this year in celebration of World Internet Day. So you may not know, but on the 29th of October was the first message sent over what eventually became the internet. That was all the way back in 1969. So that's quite a while ago. So it's a great time, a great event. And we want to celebrate that by having this hackathon, and also coming together with different skills and talents, and bring them together to bring out really amazing solutions to problems that are facing our world. So best thing about hackathons, in my opinion, is the fact that you get to meet some amazing people. As a tip, even though you're working in your teams, take the time to look around at the different groups, especially in the Slack channels, and connect with other people. There's some fantastic people that are going to be involved in this hackathon, whether they're participating, mentoring, or part of the organizers or sponsors, or even and in particular, I really want to call out our regional ambassadors who are really doing a fantastic job in letting everybody know about this fantastic event, and also connecting people together. That's a really important thing. It's that connection that actually creates some amazing innovation. So it's a great time. So in terms of the hackathon challenge categories. The theme of this event is called Build with AI. And so we're going to be looking at challenges based around 3 primary categories. Now, during the open ceremony, our chairman, Steve Norrie, is going to give you the specific challenges around each of these areas. But we're going to have challenge categories around predictive analytics, audio and visual analytics, detecting either a visual cue or an audio cue, and then drawing some conclusions from that, or prescriptive analytics, situation, scenarios, and performance, and suggest a course of strategy based on that. So those are the 3 areas. Now, one thing, just as a little tip, again, I just really want to highlight, you don't have to be an AI specialist to participate in a challenge like this. It takes everybody in different skills and talents, understanding what a business is going to be using this in an applied sense, or being able to represent the information. You might be getting some great information out of your model, but then how do you then take that model and then present that to end users or stakeholders? So if you're a front-end developer, for example, this is a great opportunity to team up with people that are involved in say, back-end or AI development, and that actually bring those different talents together to create a great solution. So just keep that in mind when you're forming your teams. That's a really important thing, is to bring a whole different set of a whole range of skills to the hackathon. So just a quick who are we? There's a couple of us on the call tonight. Here we are. So I'm Dan, or Daniel, down in the corner there. But we've also got with us tonight Jack, who a fellow co-founder of Hackmakers, and I believe we've also got Nick with us tonight as well. So if you see us tonight and also during the hackathon, please say g'day, and we're happy to help you. If you have any problems at all during the hackathon, we've got channels that can help you to find answers. So we're here to help you have the best experience possible. So this is why you're here. At the end of the day, you are the reason why we are doing this. You are the most important people in a hackathon, is the participants. You get to showcase your skills, developing awesome solutions to some really, frankly, global challenges. We're not going to necessarily solve all problems during a hackathon. We've only got a very short amount of time, but we could choose one problem and go, what if? What if we try this? What can we actually bring or add value to the world around us? So it's not just, I guess, an academic or a technical thing. As participants, we're wanting to take all of those talents, wrap them up, and then deliver value to the world around us, so that the judges can see that you've created a great solution and hopefully win some prizes. But you'll also, at the end of the hackathon, when you submit a solution, you also get a certificate saying, "Hey, guess what? We were participating in Hackmakers. We did one of the challenges." And it's also a great way to connect and expand your network and meet other like-minded people that want to solve those big problems and be involved in various different aspects of not only AI, but also business development and creating great solutions for people around the globe. So it's a great time, and it's a great fun experience. So again, just mentioning, there's a few of us floating around in this session, but we're also available within our Slack space, which we'll come to in a moment. But don't be afraid to ask us questions. It's always, we're here to help you, and we can assist in helping you find a team, or trying to answer some of the questions that you might have during the hackathon. So please don't be a stranger. We're here to help, and hopefully we can make your experience enjoyable. So now let's go into the participant guide. Now, I will bring this up right now. Fun part of screen sharing. So just a couple of things that we from a logistics point of view, we're going to go through timelines and schedule, how to register. Does it cost money? Well, the short answer is no, it doesn't. And where do we need to go to register? And we'll go through this list of things. So in terms of timelines, we're starting at Friday at 9:30 p.m. And then we're moving through October 29 to November 2 as a hackathon event, and then from there into the showcase event, which is really exciting. So again, coming back to the fact that a hackathon is a very short time frame. So what we want to do is make sure that not only is the experience as enjoyable as possible, but that you get the maximum value and you can plan well. Now, there are heaps of videos that we've provided online, but just as a quick overview of what the process looks like. Again, we're in what we call the pre-event. So helping to get people onboarded, give people as much help and assistance as we can to get ready for the hackathon. So we've got a whole heap of workshops and virtual events that are going on. Great resources on the buildwithai.com website, where you can go and check out some fantastic resources and just sort of help get you in to the process, so that you're not sort of there at the beginning of the hackathon going, oh, I don't know what I need to do. We want to make sure that you've got all the information that you require. So when we kick off, and there's a great opening ceremony and some fantastic keynote speakers, it's a really good lineup. Really excited, actually. It's going to be really good. What we want to do is, after the opening ceremony, that's the time when you're going to enter a team formation stage. And then you go into the hackathon proper. And the hackathon typically consists of about 3 stages. You have the ideation or idea selection stage, where you're trying to rapidly define your concept around those challenges. Then you're going to build the actual solution that you want to bring to the judges, and then you need to refine and present it. So there is a video element or a presentation element. Now, not everybody in the team has to present. You might have somebody who's really good at public speaking, or just wants to do that. That can actually be a thing as well. I know that in previous hackathons that I've participated in, sometimes people want to just do something that's a little bit different to what they normally do. So, for example, I worked with somebody who was a project manager that decided he wanted to not be a project manager during a hackathon. He wanted to actually work on a technical solution around a piece of hardware, because it was different to what he did during the day. So if you, whether you want to expand your existing skills or try something completely different, that's fine. This is all part of that whole experience, and it can be really fun. It can be really fun, especially when you challenge yourself and sort of push those boundaries. So who can register to compete? Anyone. Look, to be candid, if you're below the age of 18, you do need the consent of a parent or guardian. But this is literally open to anyone. There is no minimum experience level. This is about learning. And it doesn't necessarily, if you're in it to win it, that's great. But if you're just here for the experience, that's good too. It's a great learning experience, because it expands your skills. It gives you the opportunity to meet different people and learn from them as well. I mean, we've got some fantastic mentors who have got experience in a whole wide range of different areas that are volunteering their time to participate in the hackathon to help you. And so it's a great opportunity to ask those mentors, hey, I want to learn about this. And they can point you to resources, they can give you tips. That's really good advice to take on board, and it can help to grow your experience in those areas. So one of the things, don't be afraid to ask a mentor, ask an organizer, ask a lead mentor, hey, I've got a question, because this is what we're providing our time to do. It's really, we're here to make sure that you can be as successful as you can be. So remember, there is no, oh, I'm afraid to ask a question. always be ready to ask a question. This is what we're here for. Now, where can you register? buildwithai.com. We've got a tab here, and we've also got a video on introducing the website, but I will actually bring it up right now if I can type quickly. You might hear some clanking. It's because I've got a mechanical keyboard, and it makes an awful racket, but it's quite a nice keyboard. But you can see here, register and submit. So this is the place where you would come to register if you haven't already. And then you can register your team once you've decided on a team name and you've decided on people to bring with you on the journey. And then you've also got the submission form. It's all in the one place. So it makes it really easy. buildwithai.com, click on register and submit. And we'll go through some stuff later on during the Slack demo. We can actually show you how this works. It's really good. Now, do you have to compete? The answer is no. It's not compulsory to compete. You can be there to just learn. There's some fantastic resources, but I'd encourage you to get in there and have some fun. It doesn't matter if you create the best solution and are going to win the competition. This is not about just winning. And sure, there's some great prizes there, but this is about participation, learning something, stretching yourself, because as you stretch yourself in this safe environment to do so, you can try new skills, you can experiment, you can go, what if I tried this? And be confident that, you know what, even if it doesn't work, that's okay. You've tried it, you've learned something. And it really helps with that learning experience. So if you want to try something just that little bit different, and go for it, this is the opportunity in the forum to do so, because there's no crucial project that's got an absolute deadline on it. It's not a business thing where you're working and you have to do something 100% right. This is a fun time, a fun competition. You can experiment, have fun. This is the most important thing. Just have fun. It's really good. So what if you don't have a team? Now, we're going to talk about this as well, is don't worry. A lot of people join hackathons without teams, and then they start and go, hey, I've got this great idea. And we're going to talk about using the Slack channel to sort of advertise that you have a team. Or you can also use the Build with AI website to find somebody to connect to make a team. And we'll go through that process in a little while. Now, how big can a team be? We're suggesting roughly between 2 to 6 people, but up to 8 is fine. We don't do individual submissions. This is a team effort, and the only way that I think we can grow and develop in these problem solving areas is to work as a team. Not everybody is 100% brilliant at everything, and so, in particular, if you're really good at one thing, you can actually find people that are good at something different. Like, for example, if you're the absolute best developer around AI and data science, but you may not necessarily be a very good presenter. And so you can actually team up with somebody who's really good at presenting or summarizing those ideas. So don't feel that you need to, you have to do everything. And we can go through what a team should look like very soon. So how do we find a team? Well, this is the really cool part. We've got an area on the buildwithai.com website called Participants. And when you log in, you get access to a participants list. And this allows you to find people that you can join and look for. So you can go, well, look, I'm looking for somebody who is let's just say, I'm in India and I want to find somebody who's in the same time zone, because time zone can actually, as a global hackathon, that can actually be an effect. And I'm looking for somebody who has data science skills. If we go over here to data science, and so we go, I want to really connect with May. So I can take their contact information here. I can copy that. I can paste that into Slack, or actually paste it into the website, web browser, and then it opens up Slack, and then you can direct message them. So that's a great way to get in contact with people, to connect with them and go, hey, look, I've seen that you're really good at data science. I'm really good at business. Can we team up? I've got this great idea. And you can also select by experience level. If you've never done it before, you might want to go, look, I want to team up with somebody who's done a few hackathons before so that I can work with somebody who's familiar with the process. You don't have to. These are all optional things, but they provide a way for you to connect with others that are in the space so that you can form really good teams. So I'm really excited about that. The other place that you can go is also find a team on our Slack space. We'll go into that in a little bit more detail later on. So how do I find a mentor? Again, not only do we have the participant search, but we've also got a thing called Find a Mentor. So on the Find a Mentor screen, you can go, look, I need somebody with programming experience that I can talk to and give me some guidance. And because of my time zone, I might want to find somebody in Australia. So we might go, Jace, who is a fantastic mentor. He's really into full stack programming, and he can help me with my problems. So I'll send him a message on Slack and ask him if he can help us out with a little bit of assistance. Maybe it's setting up something on a cloud, for example, and Jace would be able to help you with that. So that's a really handy thing that can allow you to connect with specific mentors. But the other thing as well is that you can always use the Slack space to connect using Ask a Mentor. And that allows the entire mentor community to go, oh, hey, I've got this problem in programming full stack. I can't connect my single page application to a data model that my analytics process that I'm working on in Jupyter, and I really want to do that. So how would I go about doing that? So you can do things like that. So what tools and resources as a participant do you have access to? Now, we've got some fantastic tools and resources. And if you've looked at the Build with AI website, you can see up here that we got this button called resources, and we've got a heap of guides and templates, a whole bunch of information about how to go through the process of a hackathon. You've even got videos from previous winners, so you can be inspired by the kinds of things that they're working on. And again, we've got some fantastic tools from our great sponsors as well. So if you want templates and tools, we can go in here and go, oh, I wonder what we got here. We got a project charter template. We've got a hackathon guide, some help for ideation and pitching. There are a whole raft of really useful tools in this area, and I'd encourage you to go and have a look. But even after the hackathon is done, these are useful tools that you can take into other situations as well. So I'd encourage you to have a read, have a think, and they may be something that you can apply in a different situation. So one of the cool ones that I think is probably a little bit of an unsung hero is the Team Charter Guide. Now that is, when you're developing a solution, you don't necessarily think about all the stuff that surrounds that process. And the Team Charter Guide is all about setting some basic expectations for everyone and going, who's going to do what? How do we solve a problem before it happens? Because when you're working in a hackathon, sometimes it can be quite tiring because you might be working together in a team, and you might be getting frustrated because everybody's a little bit tired. And then you go, well, okay, how are we going to solve this problem? And you want to understand what the ground rules are before you hit the problem, so that there's no arguments. It's a really great way to set boundaries and go, look, I'm only available on these days between these hours because I've got a family commitment, for example, or I'm not going to be available on the Sunday because I've got a previous engagement. Setting up those expectations early is really, really handy, because when you're there on the Sunday and you're looking for Vivek's looking for Fred and going, where's Fred? He's supposed to be here. You go, oh, wait a minute. Fred said that he had to go to a family birthday party. So I don't need to, Fred said that he'd be on later tonight. And in which case you go, okay, that's all right. It means that you can plan around those things because everybody has life going on. Everybody has different things. So some people are maybe older with families. Other people might be younger and might have exams or assignments. And so what you want to do is you want to plan in such a way that it allows you to have fun with the hackathon and not get frustrated. And so by using something like the Team Charter Guide, you can leverage those, you can set those expectations early and have a really good plan for how you're going to operate as a team. Because at the end of the day, it's a team effort. It's not just technology, it's the people that go into that and provide those different views of what the solution might be. And getting all of those diverse views on your solution is actually a really important part of creating something that the judges will really want to have a look at. So what should we do to prepare? Well, again, register, set up Slack. Now on the buildwithai.com website, there's a really big button there that says join the conversation on Slack. And I'd really encourage you to do that. It's one of those really, it's a great collaborative resource, and it helps, it will help you to find those resources that you need. Again, if you are a technical person, you might want to set up a repository on GitHub, for example, so that you can share your code with each other. And also, whatever development tools that you want to use. If you're a Python person, you might be wanting to use Jupyter. You might want to set up a Postgres database. You might even want to set up a couple of Docker images and throw up a development database and then create a front end that then connects to it. You might be using Visual Studio Code, or you might be even just using Vim. Better than Emacs. Oh, so something controversial there. No, I'm just kidding. That's really important to make sure that you've got the right tools available. And if you're unsure, just let somebody know and go, look, I'm not sure about the tools that I will probably need. But there are fantastic online resources, especially for presenting and doing video. There's a lot of free resources out there. So don't be afraid to experiment. And this is the time to do it before the hackathon. Setting up those tools that you're going to need. A source code repository like GitHub is a great example. Whatever tools you need to do the development, but also the presentation tools that you're going to need to show or demonstrate your solution to the judges. Also, really important: don't be a schmuck. Look, we've got rules and guidelines about how to play nicely, but as we conduct ourselves professionally. Let's not be disrespectful of others. And it's probably the most important thing when people are getting tired and people are getting a little bit frustrated. For example, if they might have been doing some late nights, for example, they might be developing, and so they start to get a little bit tired and frustrated. And just remember, everybody's a human being. Everybody's a person, and we all have our own emotions and our own things going on. And so we need to treat each other with respect and kindness, and just make sure that we're doing the right thing by everybody. So the best way to put it is don't be a schmuck, and it's okay to get a good night's sleep. A good night's sleep can do the world of good. If you're starting to feel frustrated and a little bit cranky, have a sleep. It's good. So the other thing as well is research those topics and themes. Now, I had a person message me at another hackathon. They said, Dan, it was really late at night, and they said, Dan, I'm a graduate or an undergraduate. I'm only third year. I don't know very much about AI. I'm not sure if we can do stuff. And I was able to explain to them, look, you don't have to be an AI person to be involved with Build with AI. You can be involved as a front-end person, you can be involved as a business analyst, or you can be involved in doing presentation. It's about how we bring all those skills and talents together. So if you're feeling like, oh, I don't know enough to be doing machine learning or AI or something like that, that's okay. There are a whole raft of different skills that you can bring to the table. And the other thing as well is you can actually be really clear enough. Look, I'm here to learn. And so you might join a team which does have somebody that's really good at data analytics and analysis or machine learning, and go, look, I'm here to learn with you and understand a bit more about that area. So it's not just research about, I need to understand what audio analysis looks like, or understanding and creating a model for looking at image processing. You could be there to just research and understand, well, how would I even go about this? So if you're feeling like, oh, I don't have the skills to be useful, no, you do have a value to bring and skills to bring to each team. And be honest, you go, look, I don't know about this, but I want to learn. That's okay. You can pair up with and group up with people that do have an interest in that area, and you can help and support them in different ways. Not every data analyst is going to know how to build a front end, for example, if you decide to go down that road. So that you can add value to a team. Don't feel like because you're not necessarily an AI person that you're not going to do well in Build with AI. It's about that whole package of how that team comes together. Now, if your mentor is not responding, now that can be for a whole range of different reasons. Mentors in Build with AI are very generously donating their time, but like a lot of professionals, they have a very, a lot of us are very, very busy. And we have to juggle different commitments. And some of them could be family commitments, they could be work commitments, or even just in the wrong time zone. For example, if you're in Brazil and you go, oh, look, I'd really like to ask Jason a question. Jason's in the Australian time zone. It might be a little bit difficult to find him awake at the same time. Now, that's probably, for Jason in particular, is probably not, because he's an absolute superhero and he always seems to be awake. But if you need to talk to a mentor and they're not available, there are other options to you. And it's not just because they're trying to ignore you. It could be just life. So always go to the Ask a Mentor channel if you are feeling stuck. Now, if your team members are not responding, the most important thing is try and establish that early with the team charter and go, look, I'm available on these dates and these times. Are you going to be available? And if you're not, be very clear about it. And if something unexpected happens, like for example, you get a call from your auntie saying, oh, look, you forgot my birthday party and you have to go to it, just let everybody else know. The most important thing as a team member is that you communicate when you're going to be available and when you're not. And if something does come up that's a bit unexpected and you go, look, sorry, I said that I was going to be available on the Friday evening. I'm not going to be available on the Friday evening now because of a family commitment or a work commitment. Just be very clear about it to the rest of the team. The more you communicate, the less stress and frustration that causes. And the earlier you communicate as well, because the team can then go, okay, Fred's had to go stay back at work because he's working on a really important project, but Vivek's available. Let's talk to Vivek and we'll work something out. So, problems always come up. You're always going to get little challenges, and some of them will be big and some of them will be really small. But if you communicate early and quickly to the rest of your team, it gives everybody the opportunity to work with you and work around you to come up with a good solution to everybody. Now, again, more questions. We've got an FAQ, which is available on the Build with AI website. We also have a mentor guide. So this is the information that we provide to mentors to say, hey, this is what we're expecting, and also our general rules. So that's a very, very high-level overview of the participant guide. But I know that a lot of you are very, very keen to understand, well, what are our judges going to be asking for and looking for? So what we're going to do now is just quickly jump over into the judge's guide. Now, our judges are going to be looking for a number of things, and they're going to be looking at, well, okay, what is eligible to be submitted? How are they going to judge your solution? Now, we did a little video on helping you to focus your idea selection, and one of the things that I talked about was how can you narrow down your ideas, because you're going to have a lot of great ideas during this hackathon, but some of them you're going to have to throw away, even good ideas, because you've only got about this much time, and you need to focus on submitting one thing to the judges, and so using the judging criteria as a little bit of a test in your own team can help you to focus in on that one solution that you want to present. So coming down to submission eligibility, we're looking for, there are two options. There's a production-ready solution, like a working dashboard or a predictive algorithm, or an awesome proof of concept, for example, a simulation. Now, the most important thing is the scoring criteria from the judge's point of view. They're going to be looking at consistency with the challenge statements. Unfortunately, even if you have done the absolute best solution in the entire world, if it doesn't meet the one of the challenge statements, we've got three challenges there, but one of the challenge statements, if it doesn't meet one of those, it's not going to score well. So use that as your test. Is the solution that we're planning to deliver as a team, is it something that we think is going to meet those challenge statements? And I would actually, as a tip, when you talk about, when you go into the presentation, say, we're addressing this challenge statement, be really clear about it and the reason why you're addressing it. Originality. Copy and paste is not probably going to help you. We want to make sure that there is some originality in the solution. If you invent something that's already been invented, it's probably not going to. If you reinvent Facebook, for example, it's probably not going to do too well. The other thing as well is value and impact. Now, this one can be a bit subjective, but how is this going to benefit or impact the world around us? Now, that could be as small as your local community, or it could be as large as, wow, this is going to have a global impact. But it's really about, how are we doing good? How are we actually providing something that that is actually going to create impact and value to the world around us? And that comes also down into quality and design. Is it good quality code? One of the things we'll talk to you about in the submission criteria is also submitting where the Git repository is, because the judges do look at code. Some of them are geeks, which is great. And so they will be looking at good quality code and design. And again, the last one is commercialization. Do you think that there's a commercial opportunity? A commercial opportunity doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to make huge amounts of money off it, but something needs to be commercially viable. In that, if it's delivering value, that's great, but how much is it costing to provide that social value or that good around the place? Because at the end of the day, it's good to have a solution, but if you can't support it and it's not, then is not a sustainable solution. So commercialization is not just about making money; it's also about the sustainability of the product in the long term. And then this, you can use, the best tip I can give is that if you use and apply the judging criteria to yourself and your own solutions before you go into submission, you can actually give yourself a really good idea, and you go, oh, look, you know what? I really don't think we've really nailed the commercialization. Okay, let's go back and talk about that. What do we need to do in order to make this solution a bit more sustainable? And so you can actually work through, and it will actually help to improve your overall solution. Now, you can score bonus points by using tools and technologies from our two lead sponsors, Oracle Cloud or OpenWeaver, and that can give you some bonus points. So that's a big tip. If you're looking for bonus points, That's a good one to do. And they're fantastic sponsors. We really thank them for their support. Now, in terms of submission, the judges are going to be looking for a video that describes what your problem solution is, 2 to 4 minutes in length, and also the code base. Now, we've got more to say in terms of guidelines for those things, as well as a Slack space that we'll go into more detail on, where we can give you tips about how can we put the best presentation forward. So that's what I wanted to show you in the judges guide. And now we're going to do a Slack simulation. Isn't that fun? So just bear with me. Whoop. We'll go over here. So if you have not seen this yet, this is the Build with AI Slack space. And the Build with AI Slack space is your go-to resource for all things to do with collaboration during the hackathon. Now, one of the things that I do want to point out is a quick overview of some of the channels that we've got here. We've got announcements, and this is where you're getting useful information about the hackathon. For example, we've got a fantastic link down here to an event that's going on right now, live. So you can see here that there's useful resources that come in. The other next channel we want to have a look at is Ask a Mentor. So Ask a Mentor is a place where you can go, hey, I need some help with a particular problem. I might, for example, go, hi, I'm Dan, and I need some help with presentation skills. Would a mentor be able to help me? I'm a very slow typer, I apologize. So, presentation skills. Now, the other thing you'll notice here is we've also got the Slack bot telling us, oh, it's detected that I want to know something about presentations. So we can go off to here. Oh, Jack, sure, I'm good with presentation skills. Happy to help. Oh, nicely done. Thank you, Jack. We can also, this is a bit of a segue, the Slack bot, we have the Build with AI Slack bot, which is looking out for words that keywords that it can help you with. For example, if you type FAQ, it will give you access to frequently asked questions, but it'll also give you links to these handy features as well. So if I click on those links, they will all go to some very interesting places. So next is Ask the Organizers. Hi, will today's introductory sessions be recorded? You go, yes. So I can, as an organizer, I can say, yes, we are recording. And we'll make this recording available through the announcements channel. We'll record it and provide a link to that in the coming days. So that's Ask an Organizer. If you've got any problems at all during the hackathon, you need some help and assistance, this is the place to go. So you can ask us any questions, and we'll help you as much as we can. Find a team. This is a place for you to look for other people that might be interested in working on a particular problem, and you can come into this space and ask people questions around those things. So, for example, I might go, hi, I'm Dan, and I'm looking for a team to build an AI engine for YouTube presentations. Smiley face. Let's see if anybody wants to be on my team. Nobody wants to be on my team. But this is the place where you go, look, present yourself. Hi, I'm looking for a team. This is my experience level. Talk about your skills. Jason here, for example, has put some great tips in. You don't have to, you could be looking for a team, or you might be looking to join a team. You can actually go through this process here. Oh, I've had a reply. Oh, excellent. Woohoo. So I've got multiple replies. How cool is that? So that's a, please feel free to use the find a team thing. Introduce yourself. Hi, I'm this person. I've got these skills. I'm looking for a team where I can help out in that way. Next, our fantastic sponsors, OpenWeaver, have a channel called Help with Candy. And this is where you can ask all of those questions there. Again, our fantastic sponsors, Oracle, have a resource to help you with using Oracle Cloud and all the products that are available in that suite. The next channel we got here is introductions, so you can introduce yourself. And if you have a LinkedIn, you can put your LinkedIn and say, "Hey, I'm really keen on this. I'm really looking forward to being a part of this event." And I see here that Sydney Nurse from Switzerland is really excited to be here. Sydney's a great person. If you get to meet Sydney during the hackathon, please say good day. He's a very, very talented person. We've got a participant index. Now, this is where you can go and find people. And I think I've run out of those ones. And here's presentation tips. Now, during the hackathon, we're going to be providing additional information and tips around, for example, presentation. We usually do this after the hackathon has started, and we also get mentors and lead mentors and other people. It doesn't matter if you've got a really good tip around a particular presentation, for example, you can present it here. The other one that I really want to call out as well is resources and data sets. This is a great resource, and if you've got a really good resource that you want to share with others, feel free to put them into this area. Now, if I come down to the water cooler, everybody loves the water cooler. This is your place to chill out, and you can have a fun joke, or for example, there's some, oh my goodness, there's some Squid Game data science there. That's pretty scary. And hackathon memories. This is relatable, but yeah. So you can have, this is the place to just sort of have a bit of fun, tell some jokes, and just enjoy meeting other people during the hackathon. The other one that I also want to call out right up the top here, we've got rules and guidelines. So if you need any information about the rules and guidelines, they're available here. So what I might do is, yep. So that is our quick whirlwind tour of our Slack channel. I need to go back to, that was our Slack simulation. Now, again, remember to join the Slack after you register, because there are some really fantastic resources, and also everybody's there to help everybody else. If you see somebody that has a question and you know the answer to that, feel free to chime in. This is a great opportunity to join in and be part of that whole fun collaborative experience. And just remember, there's some really useful resources in this area. So now we're going to move into a little bit of Q&A. And Jack, what have we got?
Sure. So someone asked about whether the slides will be shared. I'll be providing that on the chat very shortly. There was some audio issues. So the session will be recorded. So if you missed anything, welcome to go back to the recordings, which we'll be sharing very shortly. Other than that, no questions so far. So please type in the chat if you have some questions for us. I'll also unmute everyone to unmute themselves.
So I do appreciate that there is a lot that we've gone through tonight, and like I said, we will be recording this session so that you can look at it later on. But again, remember to use Slack. Remember to get in contact if you're feeling stuck and you need some help. This is what we're here for, to provide that help and assistance. So if there's anything that we can do to help that whole experience, being part of our hackathon, this is this is why we're here. You know, you are the reason why a hackathon and Hackmakers is able to deliver such a fantastic event. It's really all about you, and I think that's really the most important thing. We got a question here. Will there be specific problem statements, or can you build around any problem statement? There are 3 problem categories that are displayed on the buildwithai.com website. And then during the opening ceremony, our chairman, Steve Norrie, will actually provide problem statements around those specific areas. So during the opening ceremony, those problem statements will be revealed, and then we will be posting those problem statements on the hackathon announcements page in Slack. So we've got those available.
There's also quite a number of other questions. One is, what are the prospects of participating in this hackathon?
Prospects. I'm not 100% sure what you mean there, but if I take prospects as in what are the benefits that you get out of it, if I make that assumption, the benefits is the learning experience. It's the ability to connect with others and also the ability to have fun. But there are some pretty substantive prizes as well. So that, you know, if you're in it for the prizes, there's some pretty exciting ones. But there's also the fact that, you know, it's an opportunity to challenge yourself and extend your skills in different areas. You know, everybody is coming into the hackathon with different sort of expectations, and that's actually one of the things that you can ask of your team. You know, if you're there to win and everybody else there is just to have a little bit of fun, that's probably not going to mesh too well. But if you go, look, I'm really here to, you know, build the best solution and present a great solution to the judges. I want to win this, and everybody else in your team goes, yeah, I want to win this. That's a good meshing, because you're all on the same page. You've all got the same expectations about what you want to do, but not everybody's at the same, has got the same desire. They might be just looking for some fun over the weekend. So understanding those expectations, and that's where I talk about the team charter as well, is a way of really understanding, you know, and managing those expectations and making sure that everybody's on the same page and doing the same thing, and not so there isn't that conflict, if that helps.
And just to add to that, Shamir, if you meant just can you join the hackathon? Anyone and everyone is welcome. You all have different various skills. Just go to Build with AI and sign up. Cassie asks, can different members of the team live together, or does team members have to be all remote?
No. If you're all in the one area, that's great. Great example was the University of Queensland, who was a great community sponsor at the World Innovation Day. They actually opened up their one of their lab areas, and if there were students participating at that university, they could all sort of congregate in there. So the best thing about a global hackathon is you can choose how global you want to be or how not global you want to be. One of the biggest challenges is time zone. And if you've got a tight-knit group, like for example, you're all in the same course at a university, or you all work for the same company and you want to work together, that's fine. I do know, and this is a fantastic example. I think this is really impressive. One particular team actually took it to the other extreme. They had their designers in one country, and then when they were finished their design and going to sleep, the developers were starting, and so they were basically working in like a 24/7 cycle. Not all of them were awake at once, but they were working and maximizing that amount of time. Now, I'm not saying that everybody has to do that, and I don't think it's actually feasible unless you really want to try that. But yeah, work within a time zone. That's the reason why we put the time zones out there, because the last thing you want to do is discover that the person you really want to talk to is in a 14-hour time zone difference, and so one of you is going to be either up really early or really late. I can tell you from experience, sometimes that can be a little bit difficult. So it's up to you. And if you're all in the same room, fantastic, go for it.
And on the same point of teams, Jacqueline asks, can they be a one-man team in case they can't find any members?
No, I'm sorry. No, we have a minimum team size of 2 people, and then we go up to we recommend about 2 to 6, but a maximum team size of 8. It is a team sport. It is a team sport, but that's okay. If you find that you are stuck, there is the Find a Team channel. There is also the Find Other Participants using the buildwithai.com website, where you can message them and say, hey, I want to be part of this team. And I've personally done this as well. As a mentor group, we actually conducted a little session. We got people that weren't in teams, and sort of got them together and said, hey, why don't we actually get you to form a team? And so that, the group went, yeah, let's do that. And so we actually brought other people together. So there are a whole different range of ways that we can help you to find a team. But yeah, a hackathon is a team sport.
And just to add to that, we also have speed teaming sessions on Saturday, on the first day of the hackathon at 1 p.m. AEST, and also one right after the opening ceremony on Friday, which helped.
Yeah, and to second that, Jack, the on the buildwithai.com website, let me see if I can find it over here. There is a tab called Schedule, where we actually provide a Google Calendar of upcoming events, and you can actually synchronize that calendar with your own. And so I've got to watch out here. Google decided that it wanted to participate, but what you can do is you can look at the events that are coming up. For example, if I look here, I can actually see the speed teaming sessions. And when you click on those, it actually gives you a link to the Zoom session and all of that information right there. And you can synchronize that directly into your calendar. So if you go, well, I haven't found a team yet, get that calendar synced and get into those speed teaming sessions.
And we'll also be around. 2 more questions. One is from Gunter, and he asks, will there be specific problem statements, or can we build around any problem statement?
Again, we've got 3 challenge areas, and then problem statements are going to be announced by our chairman, Steve Norrie, during the opening ceremony. And then we will publish those problem statements to the announcements channel on Slack.
And Niti asks, what is the role of a community member?
Community member, as we have several community support people that are involved from different organizations around the globe. We've got some fantastic community support. That can be in different ways. I know, for example, I used the example of University of Queensland earlier. They actually provided workshops and and also facilities for local students. So it could be, people are just providing additional assistance in various different ways. Some universities have been involved with, providing lab area, for example, for students to participate. Or it could be, hey, look, we've got some, we've got some various different resources. Like, for example, Oracle has kindly generously provided credits for people to leverage their technologies as part of Oracle Cloud. So obviously they're a sponsor, but community is community supporters are providing various different resources and assistance. Some of them are mentors, some of them are participating, some of them are providing facilities. So this is just a range of different things. I'd also like to call out our regional ambassadors who are fantastic, have been fantastic in organising different community supporters and helping to coordinate that support as well.
That's all the questions.
Right. Well, we're at 2 minutes past the hour in my local time. But thank you everyone for attending tonight. We do have a second participant induction session. If you've got friends or colleagues or other team members that may not have come to tonight's or today's session, you can come along to the Thursday one. We're also going to, as I stated before, we're going to be recording this session, and then we'll be publishing a link to that in the very near future. So again, thank you so much for all of your being part of this event. You are the reason why we have these events. So thank you again, and look forward to seeing you during the hackathon.
Just a final thing.
Yep.
In terms of participant guides and judges guide, I've shared the links on the chat. And also, if you want to access that and more PDF documents, it's under resources. Let me just briefly share my screen. It's under resources in the guides and templates folder. You'll have access to participant guides and judges guides. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, Jack.
Oh, session tomorrow, YouTube links. Taylor, last question from Taylor. The session tomorrow have YouTube links. Will that be a live event or just watch it later?
I believe I think these are streamed events. These are there's 2 events tomorrow. There's how do I get my team into Oracle Cloud, and then at 9 p.m. it depends on your local time. So please visit the website and make sure that your local time is appropriate. And then the second one is how do I get started with data science in the cloud? So some really interesting workshops and events. They will be recorded, as I understand it, and they should be available as well. So there's a whole bunch of really interesting sessions leading up to the event, and there will be some through the event as well. So really, really exciting, really looking forward to it. And
and just to share, so make sure you sign up. So you go to schedules. These would be the 2 events, and you can sync it with your calendar, and that would hopefully have the links available for you. Thank you.
Excellent. All right, I think we come to the end of this session. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate your time, and happy hacking.
Happy hacking.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah.